So I get asked this question a lot, and I thought I would come on video to dig in a little bit to the answer. So here's the question. Which social media platforms should I focus on? Well, the interesting thing, of course, is it depends, right? The answer that nobody wants to hear from marketers, but I promise I'm going to explain why. It depends because it depends on you. There is no one answer. It depends on what you like, what you're going to stick with, what you're good at. And almost more important than any of that is really where your audience is. Where are your people? So if you are targeting moms, then they might be, Facebook might be your better platform. If you are focused on a particular part of your offer, like crafts or cooking and that kind of thing, then you might want to use, Pinterest, not exactly a social platform, but you get it. If you talk to if you do a lot of images, then you might want to do Instagram as your main area, which tends to skew a little bit younger still. But if you can do any type of content that you like, but you need to do content that the platform is really friendly with. So, Facebook, you can do writing, images and video, but they're different quality video and a different type of video than you would put on Instagram, for example. In an Instagram story, you'd have much shorter clips of things. So you want to think about this in a 90-day time frame. So don't think about it like, what am I going to do every week? What am I going to do? Think about it in the long term. What can you stick with? What do you think that you can keep consistent? And what are you willing to spend, 2, 3 hours a week on? It's not an everyday thing necessarily. You can chunk your time. You can repurpose your content. So I would suggest that you start first with what you're good at. What do you like to do? Do you like to write? Do you like to talk? Do you like to be on video? What are your areas that you feel the most comfortable with? And that's going to be the combination of content that you have to start with, right? And then you have to take a look at the audience, like we said before, where are they? And you're going to match your content with your audience and kind of come up with your plan of, what you're going to do there. Again, if each platform has multiple ways of content, then you want to be able to you put different things out there. So one day you might, just have some writing content, you might have some questions, you might put up a quiz, you might throw up some other images. You might then do video another day. So you might have not a schedule necessarily, but sort of a flow of the different types of content that you put into each one of your, posts for that time. And definitely, if I didn't say it yet, you want to focus on one. If you're just starting out, just focus in one place. Again, you can repurpose and you can use things, in other places, but only if you're comfortable. Not, focus on one. If you're asking this question, you're probably, beginning out there, and the biggest thing that you want to do is get a good grasp for what your audience is reacting to. So there's no sense, doing multiple kinds of things all at one time just to get out there because, somebody told you to go, I had to do this, or you need to be posting here, or why aren't you doing what works for me? You need to do what works for you. So start with what you know, start with what you can do, start also with what you're going to stick with and keep consistent, and make sure that you address your audience. I'm just checking my notes to make sure I tell you everything. So yeah, wherever your people are and whatever you can do, that's where you want to be. So stick with one and then add in as you start to feel more comfortable. But in 90 days, you should be able to see some sort of pattern as to what people are liking the best. Are they liking video more than you're writing? That kind of thing. So hopefully this gives you enough to make some decisions and get your marketing plan going. Okay? Until your success, and talk to you next time.